Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the New England Sports Center in Marlborough, Massachusetts, where this evening we'll take a look at the Ridley U-19 and the Chicago Young Americans U-19 in a JWHL matchup from a frigid Marlborough here on a Saturday evening. I'm Alex Thomas. Welcome inside to the newly constructed Rink number 8. As we get set for this afternoon's contest, let's take a look at both of these teams. Chicago in the blue uniforms with red numbers outlined in white. They will have white letters in their uniforms. On the other end, Ridley will be in their white uniforms with black letters and numbers, both outlined in orange. They'll also have the orange shoulder stripe, and they'll be going from right to left across your screen, while Chicago will go from left to right. 10 seconds remaining before we get set to get underway. We'll meet the starting goaltenders in just a moment.
This camera is just on the clock. Not the way right now.
Let's take a look at your starting goaltenders for Ridley. It'll be number 31, Haley McClelland, in between the pipes. Meanwhile, on the other end for CYA, it'll be Haley Klitso, number 53, and a brown commit. That will be in between the pipes for this game, and we are underway. Chicago going from left to right, Ridley from right to left across your screen. We touched on the uniforms to open the broadcast. Puck in behind the Ridley net, dug free by Chicago and sent back up towards the blue line, but that attempt is intercepted. It's held by Audra Vanderboys. Vanderboys carries it into the offensive zone for Ridley. Will spin in behind the Chicago net, get free, send the backhander in front. Another opportunity, that one steered towards the net by Abby Bowley. A quick save, and then a second opportunity denied by Klitso as well with 19:17 to go. We'll have our first whistle of the hockey game just 23 seconds into the contest. If you're just joining us a little before 5 on this Saturday afternoon, first Saturday of February, I'm Alex Thomas. You're watching Ridley U-19 and Chicago Young Americans U-19. JWHL action from the New England Sports Center in Marlborough, the newly constructed Rink number 8. A lot of work going on in this building throughout the hockey season. Played back up to the blue line for Sweet Apple. That shot was blocked into the corner. Mary Jane Alexander digs it free for Chicago. Tries to rotate it up the wall, can't. Alexander will swipe it back in behind the net, where Amanda Zenstein is stationed. She'll move up ahead, and now Chicago will start the rush. Thurman carries it in. Forehand, she scores! Catherine Thurman breaks in with speed and whistles it past McClelland and opens the scoring for Chicago. It comes just 1:13 into the contest. The Yukon commit driving in and lets a quick shot go over the glove of Haley McClelland, and Chicago strikes first. A big goal for the Young Americans right off the hop after a good first 2 shifts from Ridley. And that'll change the complexion and momentum in this hockey game. Puck is rotated back into the Ridley zone. Icing was waved off, didn't have enough steam anyways, as Culligan tries to move it out of the zone. That clearing attempt reached the line, but Catherine Pohl keeps it in and sends the puck in deep. It'll be recovered by Clark. Chip back up into the neutral zone, onto the stick of Finnegan at center. She'll finesse her way into the offensive zone, just on sides, as Morgan Shine was a step ahead of her at the blue line, but was able to toe the line. Puck is dumped back in over the stick of Delaney Weiss, who was first on it for Chicago, and she'll rotate it up the wall for Emma Katzman. Puck rotated back up towards center. Collected by Culligan, sends it up to the blue line, tipped up ahead. Finnegan will steer it back into the neutral zone before Culligan recovers and gains the blue line. She'll send a weak shot on net, easily steered aside. Vanderboy's first one on it, the captain wearing number 15. She'll cut into the slot, shot blocked by Weiss. Collected by Katzman and moved out of the zone, but only to the blue line before it's recovered by Emma Robertson. She rotated it back to Ava Robertson, who gets it in deep over the stick of Finnegan. Bumped by Bowie. Back to the line, Robertson holds, wrist shot. It gets through the traffic, but misses the net just wide on the glove side. 3 minutes evaporated here in the opening period of play, 1-0 Chicago. Puck steered towards the net, blocked. Another opportunity, the backhander sent wide by Snow, and it'll be on to the near wall. Abby Grexton recovers, tries to chip it in. Couldn't get it around Liberty. Maloney will dump it into the corner. Chasing after it is Claire Kaufman. She's bumped off the puck. Jasky was in there. Comes up along the wall. Ridley will fire it back up towards the blue line. Buddington for Chicago. Tried to get it deep, could not. And Ridley ends up getting into the offensive zone, but they are offsides. It was Grexton who carried it in with 16:34 to go in our opening period. Catherine Thurman's goal, coming just a minute and 13 into this hockey game, is our only tally, as we've played 3.5 from Rink 8 in the New England Sports Center in Marlborough. Spinning away with Zenstein, moves it up ahead. Thurman, he's speedy attacking forward, will get into the offensive zone, but lost the handle on the puck. Elliott recovers and tries to whip it around the wall. Taken by Watt, who swipes it over to Snow, far side, couldn't handle the puck. Zenstein will collect and move it over D to D for Buddington. Buddington's pass was into the skates of Ondrick, who gets it back and now gains the blue line. Here's Ondrick with speed, although the lane evaporated quickly. Tried to drop it back for Kubicek. Left in for Clark. Defensively for Ridley. She'll spin in behind her own net. Look for a clearing lane and play it off the back wall. Trying to find Tegan Ray. Ray with it now. Feeds it up for Sweet Apple. Her pass out of the reach of Watt, and will head down the ice. This will be icing with 15:28 to go in the opening frame. Chicago on top, 1-0. Faceoff comes back into the Ridley zone. It'll be to the left of the netminder, McClelland. Kubicek takes the draw for Chicago. It's Clark off the hop for Ridley, however, who will get the puck down the ice. Believe this will be another icing. It is. And the whistle sounds with 15:19 to go. So we'll come all the way back into the Ridley zone and do it again. Face off to the left of McClelland. It'll be Kubicek to take the draw. She'll be opposite Bowley. Face off one along the near wall. Kicked back in towards the net. Scrum ensues. Puck squirts free into the far corner. Kubicek hacks at it. Two bodies aside. Dig away. Bloomer lost the handle on it. Puck comes into the near corner this time. Finnegan saw it go under her stick, and that puck's going to come all the way back to the Chicago blue line this time. Robertson pokes it free. Kubicek with it now. She'll spin away on her backhand. Able to rotate it up to the neutral zone. Ava Robertson spins away. Freya Bajaski, number 98 in white. Try to find Boley. Unable to connect. And Chicago will take over possession in their own zone with 14.5 to go in our opening period. They lead at 1-0. Both sides making changes. Dangerous pass nearly intercepted. Zenstein has to go back in behind her own net. She'll play it up the wall for Thompson. Out of her reach. Falls to Robertson. Taze Thompson, 11 in blue, a Harvard commit. Ava Robertson bumped off the puck, and now the other way. Here's an opportunity for Chicago. Wrist shot save made by McClellan. It was Morgan Shines who came in and got a quick wrist shot away on McClellan, who stands her ground and does not surrender a rebound with 14:06 to go. Face off won by Chicago. Rotated back to the line. Quick shot denied. Rebound sits free. The shot came from Weiss at the point. May have been tipped. Maloney chases after it. Gets it on her forehand. Tries to steer it in towards the net. Back up top to the blue line. That's rotated down low by Weiss. Comes back free. Maloney spins it over to the far side. Buddington down low along the wall. Snow trying to dig it free for Ridley. Can't. Puck clear to the line and then eventually out. It was Watt who poked it free, and now she'll carry it into the offensive zone. Can't get around Maloney. Rotated in behind the Chicago net. It's Weiss with a ton of real estate to work with as she carries it into the neutral zone. Chipped out of the reach of Catherine Pohl. Sent in behind and collected by Jordan McIsaac, who couldn't get it out of the zone for Ridley. Chicago keeps it in deep. Out of the reach of McIsaac once more. Two blue jerseys come together along the far wall, eventually separating the puck from Mary Sweetapple, who sends it up to center. Tossed back in by Thurman. In behind the Ridley net. She'll chase after it. Had the lone goal 73 seconds into the contest. Zenstein will pinch in from the blue line, keep the play alive. Puck comes free. Quick shot save made. Rebound unable to poke it home. That was Zenstein. McClellan made the initial save. Puck sent down the ice, and we'll get a whistle with 12:42 to go. But Haley McClellan has settled in nicely after the game's opening goal off the stick of Catherine Thurman. Thurman, a UConn commit. You take a look at the CYA roster, and a number of Northeast schools represented. Harvard, UConn, Dartmouth, Brown, and ECAC well represented on this roster. Puck sent in, down low. There's a shot from an angle. Never did reach the net. Another opportunity. Ping-pongs around in the slot, but nobody there. Puck kept alive briefly, but then it's carried by Culligan out of the zone. She'll take it into the offensive end. Stripped up the puck by Alexander. Rotated it back to the blue line. McIsaac gets it deep. Falls right onto the stick of Mary Jane Alexander, who plays it around the wall. Clark with it now. Tries to chip it in. Zenstein will collect it instead and carry it in over the blue line. Here's Zenstein, try to guide a shot in close. Another opportunity by Zenstein, and it may have hit Culligan and nearly was friendly fire into the Ridley net. McIsaac will get the puck out, hops over the stick of a Chicago defender. That on the gate icing. As Clixo has to come out and settle it down for Finnegan. Ondrick stripped off the puck at center. Bowie carries it in. Boley, sends it in down low. Wrist shot sent wide by Emma Robertson. Unable to turn and get the shot on goal. Now another wrist shot denied, this time by Clixo off the stick of Boley. As a good shift for Ridley coming about 8.5 minutes into the period. Kubicek digs it free. Puck sent out in front. Robertson can't get a handle on it. And Chicago able to transfer it up the ice now. Ondrick lost a handle on it over the blue line. Kaufman going in. First one there. Leaves it for Ondrick in behind the net. Ava Robertson collects. She'll pull up, go D to D for Jaski. Up ahead for Emma Robertson, who evades danger and then was nearly bumped off the puck on the second chance by Kubicek. Finnegan keeps it in at the blue line. No, she does not. The back official deems she was offsides, and we'll get a whistle with 10:48 to go. Chicago still on top, 1-0. Face off in their neutral zone. It'll be Maloney to take it for Chicago. Opposite of Watt. As Chicago will gain possession, and it's Thompson trying to dump it in. Instead, Weiss gets it deep. Sweet Apple first on it for Ridley. Tries to get it up the wall. She cannot. Second opportunity. Thompson keeps it alive. Rotated to the blue line and tipped out of the zone eventually by Snow. Buddington will go to an open point. Only player there is Carmen Elliott for Ridley. That's sent back out into the neutral zone. Sweet Apple, first one on it. As Ridley tries to get it out of the zone here. Maloney. Chip back up to the top, looking for Buddington. Could not connect, and now an opportunity the other way. Here's Snow with speed. Snow, wrist shot, glove save, no rebound. Haley Clixell makes the save with 10 even to go in the opening period. Halfway home in the first frame, 1-0 Chicago. Face off to the left of the Chicago net. It'll be Allison Deering to take the face off for Ridley. 16 in white. Off the scrum, she was opposite of Thurman, who won that draw for Chicago. Zenstein, the Irma College commit, will play it around the wall. Moved up by Alexander, sent down the ice. Clark and Poole in a foot race. Clark tried to move it up ahead. Back up top looking for Zenstein. Ray gets it across center. Culligan couldn't connect, and now the other way. Here comes Poole with Thurman. Poole across with Thurman. No, wrist shot scores on the rebound. Poole picks it out of the air and puts it home. 2-0. It was a turnover that Chicago gained the 2-on-1 off of. Thompson's going to pick up the assist. Catherine Poole picks up the goal. Thurman's going to get the assist. Her initial shot was denied by McClelland. And then Poole picked up the rebound, knocked it down, and put it home. Oh, Chicago has a 2-0 lead, and we are just 11 minutes into this hockey game. An excellent start for the team in blue. Robertson's wrist shot was blocked on its way to the net. Kicked aside by Klitschko. Shines will rotate it up to the blue line. Kicked out of the zone by Thurman. Robertson will chase after it, try and play it around the wall. Kubicek sends it in deep. Onto the stick of Jaski. In behind for Robertson. Behind her own net, she'll try and start the rush. Chicago doing a good job of swarming to the puck and forcing Ridley to make quick decisions. That's resulted in a number of turnovers here in the game's first 11 and a half minutes. And a 2-0 lead for Chicago. Boley tries to spin away from trouble and does. Finds Emma Robertson. Robertson loses the handle on it at center and then does regain and will try and send it in deep. Finnegan on her backhand spins away. In behind the net for Weiss. Rotated for Finnegan, near side along the wall, but she's bumped off the puck almost immediately. And now Ridley will try and go to work in the offensive zone. Sweet Apple across for Elliott. Winds, fires a shot right on. Rebound goes in behind the net. Dug free by Grexton. Side of the net, trying to spin free that time was Watt. Sweet Apple at the blue line, shoots one in, save made, rebound, side of the net. Grexton in there now, best shift of the afternoon for Ridley. Coming with about 7.5 to go in the period. Watt digging at it now, as is Grexton, who dug it free, kicks it for Watt. Puck comes into the slot, Elliott just a step behind it. Turned over, onto the stick of Watt and sends it back in deep, where Grexton is stationed in behind the Chicago net. Kubicek wins the puck battle, then she's bumped off the puck. Sent back in behind, Snow with it now, in front with a chance, big save, rebound, then it's kicked aside. Biggest sequence of saves for Haley Klitschko of the afternoon with 7 to go in the period. Nearly a 2-1 hockey game, an excellent shift for Ridley, their best of the game. Russell Working on it in deep, digs the puck free, sends it back up to the top. Held by Culligan, wrist shot blocked, squirts free into the slot, and sent down the ice. Don't believe this is going to be icing. It is waved off as the puck was touched by Culligan before it got in behind the Ridley net. Russell bumped off by Maloney at her own blue line. Digs it free to center. Deering kicks it up ahead, but it falls to the stick of Chicago's Madison Ondrick. Puck goes sky high. Russell trying to dig it free off the stick of Maloney. Comes back for Tegan Ray, who's a bit of a versatile Swiss Army knife for this Ridley team. She is listed as a forward and defender, so a valuable player who we're sure to be calling most of this contest. Chance out in front, rolls off the stick of Maloney. Back to the blue line, wrist shot saved by McClelland. Rebound, bobbled. Ondrick couldn't get a handle on it. It was Buddington who fired it from the blue line. Clark rotates it up ahead for Deering. Gets it around Buddington. Into the Chicago zone, 5:45 to go in the opening period. Chicago on top, 2-0. Robertson at center will swipe it back D to D for Jasky. Carries it across center, and then she'll dump it in deep. And that'll allow Ridley to go in on the attack. Chicago, D to D, will move it up ahead, and they'll break the zone. Here comes Ondrick across center. Number 8 in blue, winds, fires his shot, that whistles wide. Past the glove of McClelland, in behind the Ridley net. Boley wrestles the puck free, tries to get it up the wall to clear it. Falls on the Vanderboy's stick. Trying to sweep it free at center, she can't. Thurman in there, who opened the scoring 73 seconds in. Emma Robertson bumped off the puck. Alexander in good position defensively, 44 in blue. That's carried over the blue line by Bloomer, bumped off the puck by Jasky along the far wall. Boley tries to clear it. Alexander winds, fires a shot. Big save by McClelland. Big rebound kicked into the far corner. Rotated up the wall, takes a weird hop, and falls to Robertson's stick. Then she'll ice it, and we'll get a whistle with 4:36 to go in our opening period. 2-0 Chicago. Face-off coming back into the Ridley zone. It'll be to the left of the netminder, McClelland. Off a scrum, it's going to be taken by Ridley. That's Abby Grexton, who moves it up ahead across center before she's bumped off the puck. Heads in deep, Elliott will chase after it. Knocked off by Weiss, second opportunity. Collected by Watt, she'll rotate up along the near wall. Tries to get it back to the blue line. Puck goes back in deep for Snow. Around Grexton, who will chase after it along the far wall. She's taken down, wrist shot from an angle. Misses well wide off the stick of Watt. Comes on to the near side and is sent down the ice where Snow will collect it at her own blue line. Leaves it for Elliott. Taken from behind by Shines, but not before she got it up for Tegan Ray. Bumped off by Alexander. Ray lost a handle on it. Alexander under some pressure, plays it behind her own net. That was Watt in on the forecheck as well, 27 in white. Chipped up ahead and taken by Kubicek, who carries it in over center. She gets it in deep. Clark will chase after it for Ridley, and he'll backhand it around the wall. Culligan rotates it up top. McIsaac there now, trying to break out of the zone. Comes back for Culligan, who has some time to skate it to safety, and she does across center before the puck is poked off her stick. Now it's Ray. Gains the offensive blue line, has the trailer to McIsaac, drops it back to her. McIsaac now for Clark, pinching in. Wrist shot, misses by a country mile on the glove side. In onto the far side, Shines will send it back in behind for Zenstein, who bobbles it and gets it back now. Watched by Russell with 3:05 to go in the opening period. Chicago playing with it behind their own net. They have some time, and now it's moved up for Shines. Maloney with speed, carries it up ahead. Look at Maloney, gets across the blue line, but Clark there to strip her off the puck. Robertson dumps it into the zone. Puck takes a hop off the boards, kept alive and sent in on net by Zenstein, but it was a delayed offsides. And we'll get a whistle with 2:43 left on our opening period. 2-0 Chicago. Face-off will come right in front of our broadcast perch with 2:43 to go off the offside, just outside of the Ridley zone. Maloney will do the honors for Chicago. Opposite of Boley, and that is won by Maloney. Kicked back in front of the Chicago bench where Zenstein is. She'll go across D to D. Finnegan tips it up ahead. To Liberty, carried into the zone. Katzman. Into the near corner. Up the wall, kept alive. Liberty, wrist shot, missed well wide. Vanderboys will leave it in behind for Jaski. Plays it for Robertson. Ava Robertson up for Emma Robertson, who will do a 180 and then sweep it out of the offensive zone. But here comes Finnegan into the zone. Finnegan, wrist shot. It's high over the glove of McClelland in behind the Ridley net. Jaski spins away, leaves it for Ava Robertson. Up the wall for Vanderboys, who sends it down the ice. This will be icing if it has enough steam. It just does. And we'll get a whistle with $1:49 to go in the opening period. 2-0 Chicago. All right, South will go to the right of McClelland. In the Ridley zone. Draw one. Get back up the wall. Ondrick patrolling the blue line. Last line of defense for Chicago in the offensive zone. Sweet Apple will dig it free behind their own net. Ridley trying to transport the puck out, but Chicago continues to set up with 1:25 to go in our opening period. Ondrick keeps it alive. Half slapper is blocked by Thurman, who is patrolling through the slot, presumably looking for a tip. I didn't realize the point shot was coming, as Ridley will clear it out to center. Buddington rotates it up for Ondrick. Carried in. Ondrick from an angle, unable to get a shot away. Rotates the puck behind the Ridley net. Leaves it there for Kaufman. Tries to dig it free. Puck swiped into the near corner with 55 seconds to go in the opening period. Hubachek will dig it free. She's tripped up and a penalty coming. It'll be the first power play of the afternoon. And it's going to go in favor of Chicago with 46.7 seconds left in the period. And unless the Young Americans can score early in this advantage, they will have carryover time into period number 2. First power play for either side. Chicago already up 2-0. It'll be Kaufman to take the draw for the top power play unit for this Chicago team. Ridley wins the draw, sweeps it around the wall, trying to clear it out. They can't. Buddington keeps it alive. Just 36 seconds left in the period. Back up top, Buddington receives the pass from Weiss. Wrist shot, save made, rebound, kicked in front, another chance, backdoor scores! Bloomer receives the pass on the back door. It's a power play goal with 29.5 seconds to go. Bloomer was wide open in the back door and had an empty cage to put the power play goal home into. And it is 3-0 Chicago. So they get the advantage and they strike right away and get some big time insurance just seconds before the buzzer sounds. Puck takes a hop, it'll stay in play. Maloney tries to keep it alive. Zenstein fakes the shot, curls free, may have drawn another penalty. No, she did not. Thought she may have been tripped as Vanderboys will carry it up across center and dump it in as the period runs out. Chicago strikes first, 73 seconds into the period, and they strike third. With just 29.5 seconds to go in the frame, it's 3-0 Chicago. We'll take a quick break and then come back in for period number 2 of this JWHL hockey game live from the New England Sports Center in Marlboro. One period in the books in the New England Sports Center in Marlboro. I'm Alex Thomas. You're watching Ridley and Chicago Young Americans U-19 JWHL action. Once again, I'm Alex Thomas. 3-0 Chicago is your score through one period of play. You'll switch sides. Chicago going from right to left. Ridley from left to right for this second and middle period on a frigid February afternoon. And Chicago gets to work right away. They had a power play goal with 29.5 seconds remaining in the period. That backhander steered aside by McClelland. Ondrik gets it across, back to the blue line. Here's Weiss, near side, wrist shot blocked. Never reached the net. Another opportunity. Ondrik puts it right on, and McClelland makes the save. Just 30 seconds into the period, and we have our first whistle of the second frame. A newly constructed rink number 8 inside the New England Sports Center. Really the hub of youth tournaments and junior tournaments in the state of Massachusetts. Off the face-off, a scrum ensues, and Snow will come away with the puck. Look out, that's sent up top. And out of play with 19:23 to go in our second period. Chicago up by a trio of goals. Catherine Thurman will take the face-off. She opened the scoring 79 seconds into this hockey game. 3 different goal scorers for the Young Americans, including Catherine Pohl, who scored at 10:36, and the power play goal by Ann Bloomer. Bloomer, a Harvard commit, one of a couple on this roster. Here comes Snow the other way. Wrist shot save made. First of the period by Haley Klitschko. Puck comes into the slot, although it's Bloomer there defensively. Chipped up ahead for Thompson. Tries to get around Jaski. She's taken down. Chicago bench wants a call. None forthcoming as Thompson's slow to get back. There's a shot by Finnegan. Whistles it wide. And we get a whistle. Is there going to be a penalty coming here against Chicago? I believe there were 6 skaters on the ice. Well, they're going to get him with a slash, but they very well could have gotten them for too many on the ice there. Is believe it was Thurman who was shaken up after the hit, that was slow to get back and was still on the ice when the player that replaced her came on and played the puck. But regardless, for the first time in this hockey game, Ridley's going to go to the power play. And it's a big one. They need a goal here, trailing by 3. Deering will chip it up to center. McIsaac chases after it and gains the offensive zone. She'll pull up and drop it back, looking for Russell. Into the near corner. Well, officially a slashing penalty against Taze Thompson. Weiss will swipe it back up to the blue line. Clark is there, gets it in deep. Bloomer chases after it. Watched by McIsaac. Puck is loose, out of the reach of Deering. Swiped down by Bloomer. Collected by Boley, who takes it around for a lap. Back to the blue line. Culligan. Wrist shot tipped right on. It goes wide. Deering had the tip, but put it wide. The aimer was off a little bit. Culligan again to the blue line. Goes across for Clark. Handles the pass and sends it in deep for Robertson. Back up top for Clark. Down for Robertson. Tips it away. She wrestles the puck free. Gets it back. Emma Robertson will rotate down low. Vandra Boys trying to kick it free. Boley comes away with it now. Knocked off the puck. Boley gets it back. Vandra Boys. The setup continues with 42 ticks left on the power play. Boley bumped off a second time. Tries to dig it free. Comes in front of the net. Robertson couldn't get a handle on it. Although she'll pick it up this time and try and rotate it back for Culligan. Puck comes free along the wall. It's Weiss who will skate it to safety and then dump it down the ice with 25 seconds to go. And that allows Chicago to change penalty killers in the final stretch of this power play opportunity with 16:57 to play. Clark up for Culligan. Gains the blue line. Culligan drops it back for Snow. Looks for a lane in front. Tip towards the net. No chance. Rebound comes free. Elliott can't get there. It was Watt who tipped it into the net, but no chance as it was blocked. Elliott's Forward pass knocked away. Maloney will carry it and then dump it in. Penalty is over. Maloney with speed. Nifty move. Sends it to the net. Ondrick not there in time. She'll wrestle it free and find Maloney. Had Kaufman creeping in towards the net. Trying to find her that time, but it grazed off the skate of Kaufman and went into the corner. Dug free by Kaufman. Trying to cut into the slot. Through traffic. Comes back to the blue line. Buddington chipping in. Knocked away by Watt. Carried up by Snow. She'll take it across center and into the offensive end. Nifty move here. Snow in alone. Forehand. She scores. What a move. Snow gets inside position. Finesses her way to the net and goes to the forehand and stuffs it home. And Ridley is right back into this hockey game. A goal comes 4:02 into the period, and after the power play gave a little bit of momentum to Ridley, even though they didn't score, they get one moments later, and it's Snow with the beautiful move and finishes it off by beating Haley Klitschko. And with 15:40 to go in period number 2, it's 3-1 Chicago. Bloomer, whose power play goal made it 3-0 late in the period, has it now in the far corner, digs it free, sends it to the net, comes back to the blue line. Weiss a shot, misses it wide. Bloomer chasing after it. She's knocked off the puck. Deering trying to dig it free for Ridley. The official behind the Ridley net is telling them to move it, and the puck eventually squirts loose. McIsaac will kick it back up to the blue line. Eventually it's out of the zone. Weiss can't touch it. It's a delayed offside. Although I don't believe anybody signaled it. Jaski moves it ahead. Definitely from this vantage point looked like the puck came out of the zone, but no harm, no foul, as it's cleared out anyways. Sent towards the net, out of the reach of Shines, into the slot, nobody home. Emma Robertson could have been sprung free there, but pass didn't hit her in stride. And the skates of Finnegan. Vanderboys loses the handle on it, then digs it into the offensive zone. Can't get the puck free. Jaski will chip it back in. Vanderboys tags up. Moved up ahead by Catherine Pohl. Cutting in. Tries to spin at the goal line and stuff it towards the net. She couldn't. Boley will send it in herself this time. Pohl, the speed of Chicago becoming apparent once again here in this shift, but it's turned over to Emma Robertson, who carries it up to center and skates it to safety. Robertson sends it deep into the offensive zone. She has some room. Vanderboys is in front. Robertson takes it for a lap, drops it back for Elliott. Wrist shot, kick save made. Big save as Emma Robertson skated it around the zone and found Carmen Elliott in perfect positioning in the high slot. Puck sent back deep into the Chicago zone. Much better second period here for Ridley. They've got a goal and a couple of good chances. 13.5 to play. Puck sent in. Grexton moves it back up the wall, trying to find Watt. She can't. Culligan will skate it up and dump it past the neutral zone. Maloney on her backhand. Fires it up the far wall to Alexander. Chips it back to center. Clark is there. She'll go D to Culligan. Collects it on her own blue line. Tipped up ahead by the lone goal scorer, Snow. Maloney and Liberty were stuck in a traffic jam, if you will, of the blue line and had to just jump it in. Culligan up for Snow, tips it up ahead. Zenstein, only one there at center. She'll gain center and then fire it in and go for a change with 12:50 to play in the second period. Culligan up the wall, chasing after it is Watt. She comes in with speed. Here's Watt, centering, looking for Grexton, cutting in. She may have been hooked. Puck comes free for Snow. She cuts in, trying to go to the backhand, but unable to do so. Would have been another pretty opportunity for Snow, who's already cashed in on one in the period. That time she just couldn't finish off forehand the backhand, or else she would have had a wide open cage and possibly a 3-2 game. Robertson sweeps it for Jaski. Back in for Buddington. Turned over. Deering, Russell there as well. Comes up. towards center and then swiped in. This will be icing with 12:05 to go. But Ridley will get an offensive zone faceoff here. Has had a very strong first about 8 minutes of this period after getting outplayed for a majority of the first and giving up 3 goals. They have the only goal this period. Had a couple of good looks on the power play and a few strong 5-on-5 opportunities after the goal. So this Ridley team has to like the response that they have put together in this second period. Kaufman across center will sweep it for Thurman, who fanned on the shot attempt. Elliott will come away with it. Play it around the wall, and Ray comes up Ray. She'll send it back for Sweet Apple. Tries to rotate it up the wall. She can't. Sent back in. Russell behind the net. Up ahead for Deering. Onto the stick of Elliott. Tries to get it out of the zone. She could not. Kept alive at the blue line by Ondrick. Penalty coming up here. Dug free, and we're going to have a call against Chicago, it looks like, with 11:25 to go. So an interference penalty against Chicago. And Ridley, although they didn't score on the first power play opportunity of the game that they got, had a couple of really good looks and used the momentum to score shortly thereafter. Face-off coming in the neutral zone. Believe it's because it was an offsides as well against Ridley there, so that negates the offensive zone face-off. But Emma Robertson will take it into the offensive zone. Skated up to center by Pohl and then kicked away. Kubicek will send it in. Jasky across for Robertson. She gains center and then will dump the puck in. Vanderboy's on the forecheck. Puck takes an awkward hop off the end boards and came free into the slot. Jasky sends it in the near corner. Bloomer there. Watched by Vanderboys. Back up top. Jasky for Ava Robertson. Over to the near side. Hops over the stick of Boley. Back up top, Jasky. Down low, Boley tried to steer it to the slot, was stripped off the puck, and that's going to be sent down the length of the ice by Ann Bloomer with 10.5 to play in the period and 1:03 to go in the second power play for Ridley, who's 0 for 1. Ava Robertson will leave it. Janicki Watt will carry it up across center, and with speed carries it into the offensive zone. Watt takes it for a spin. Her centering attempt hit a body, believe it was Weiss. Trying to spin it free. She was offsides. And the whistle sounds as she tried to pull back, but unable to do so. So we'll get a neutral zone face-off with 42 seconds left in the power play. And 10:06 left in the middle period. Face-off won by Watt. Back for Sweet Apple. D-to-D for Elliott. Chips it off the wall for Snow. Carries in. Snow looking for a passing lane. Has Elliott at the blue line. Quickly to Sweet Apple. Gets it back. Snow, one-timer. Takes a hop. They score. The shot from Snow was going to miss by a wide margin. But Abby Grexton, right place, right time, and it's 3-2. Talk about right place, right time. Snow's shot was going to miss the net by a wide margin. But Grexton was there. It hits off of her leg and ricochets into the net. It's a power play goal, and it's 3-2. Put pucks toward the net, get bodies in front, and bounces will happen. And that time Ridley gets one. And a strong middle period for this team has them right back within one. Excellent response for Ridley in the first 10-plus minutes of this period. They have a pair of goals, and they've taken the momentum right away from Chicago, who dominated the first 20 minutes of this contest. They got a collision in the far corner. Chicago comes away with the puck. Chance in front, they score! The Young Americans get it right back less than a minute later. Believe it was Thurman in front who polishes the play off. It comes at 10:49. Just 39 seconds after the power play goal from Ridley, and the 2-goal lead is restored for Chicago. That's a big response for the Young Americans as the game started to get away from them a little bit. They get right back into it, go to work, and score on command. .8:55 to go in the period, 4-2 Chicago, but a really entertaining game if you're just joining us. I'm Alex Thomas from the New England Sports Center in Marlborough, Massachusetts. Alexander, D-to-D, Zenstein, high shot, tipped. It's knocked down in front of the net. Chicago going to work here, trying to take the momentum of that goal after Ridley had 2 unanswered and dominated the first 10 minutes of this period. Zenstein keeps it alive, wanted the shot but didn't have a lane, so she'll try and get it deep, instead could not, and a penalty upcoming with 8:26 to go in the period. See what the call is. It came from the official behind the play. A roughing call coming up against Ridley. It'll be Emma Robertson who will sit. So after 2 goals, including 1 on the power play, for Ridley, Chicago scores 1, and now they'll go to the power play for the second time in this hockey game. They're 1 for 1. Ondrick for Zenstein. They'll set it up. She gets it back, far point. Fanned on the pass. Now gets it to Ondrick. Nifty backhander down low, setting things up now at Chicago. Thurman, who's got a pair in this hockey game, including the 1 tally that came in this period for Chicago, tries to chip it up the wall. She's taken down by Sweet Apple. 2 bodies aside, dig away. Snow comes away with it for Ridley, but she's stripped off the puck by Thompson. Sent into the slot, and now Elliott will airmail it down the ice. 7:48 to go in the period. Zenstein tries to take it out from behind her own net. Knocked off the puck by Watt. 5 bodies, 3 for Chicago, 2 for Ridley. Dig away in the corner, but Ridley is okay with this as time will continue to tick off the penalty. There's 1 minute gone by already, and the puck is deep in the Chicago zone, so this is more than acceptable for the penalty killers. Not what you want for the Chicago power play, however. Thompson lost the handle at the blue line. It's kicked back by Gregston, who scored the 2nd goal of the evening for Ridley as it bounced off of her leg and into the net. A fortuitous bounce for number 9 in white. Bloomer, who scored the power play goal in the final minute of period 1, was bumped off the puck with half a minute remaining on the power play for Chicago. Puck is swiped up ahead for Bloomer. Backhanded up for Kubicek. She has speed and gains the blue line. Now moving in her backhand. Wanted the wraparound, but the lane wasn't there. Kicks it back to Kaufman. Side of the net. Another chance for Kaufman. And she can't convert. Couldn't cleanly handle the pass. 8 seconds to go. Kubicek dishes it off far side. Bloomer in front. Off the skate of Kaufman and into the corner. Weiss with it now. Looking for the tip from Kubicek. Kaufman in there. She wrestles it free. Penalty is over. Back to even strength. Kaufman shot blocked. Sent up the ice, but not out of the zone. Weiss near side goes across for Buddington. Down low. She gets it back at the blue line. Across once more for Weiss. Sends it down. Kaufman shot from an angle. Backdoor. They score. Three-goal lead is restored for Chicago. It was sent over to the side of the net. Believe it was Bloomer who got the goal, and it'll be her 2nd of the afternoon on the backdoor play at 13:56 of the 2nd period, and Chicago has answered right back and restored the 3-goal lead. Well, Bloomer in her office does an excellent job of putting that home. That's twice from that angle on the back door that she stuffed it home past McClelland. And with 5:50 to play in the 2nd period, Chicago leads it 5-2. Sweet Apple will swipe it past center. It'll hop off the stick of Boley. Comes back for Vanderboys. Swiped in towards the net. Zenstein was there. Rolled off of her stick, tries to clear it out ahead. Eventually falls to the stick of Thurman. who will transport it safely across center and into the offensive zone with 5:20 to go. Thurman in front, hits off a couple of bodies and then will ricochet into the near corner. Boley tries to rotate it. Elliott comes away with it. Sends it up for Robertson, who tipped it in the neutral zone, but Maloney was there. She'll fire it back, D-to-D, Buddington to Alexander. She'll fire it back to Buddington, who chips it up the wall, but Sweet Apple's there. No icing as that clearing attempt hit a few bodies. Under 5 to play in the period. That's through the feet of Kaufman and down on the ice, so we'll have an icing call with 4:49 to go in period number 2. Chicago leads it 5-2. They had a 3-0 lead after the first period, and then Ridley came out like they were shot out of a cannon and scored twice in the first 10-10 of this second period, but Chicago has calmed things down and scored twice since then. So a bit of a back and forth in this one. And it looked like for a little while there that Ridley was going to tie this game here in the second period. But credit to Chicago for hunkering down and getting back to basics here in the second half of this period. Ondrick will chase it into the offensive zone around Ava Robertson, and she's bumped off the puck by Jeske. Down in behind the Ridley net, 4:18 to play in the period. Moved up ahead by Robertson. Collected by Watt. She'll swipe it up for Snow into her feet. She had a beautiful goal earlier in this period. Jeske will fire it deep. That'll allow Ridley to make changes. Some tired forwards out there as Chicago looks to take advantage of the change. Pass attempt up ahead, went off the stick of Russell, who carries it in this time for Ridley. Left it behind for McIsaac. Calling in back at the blue line, but she's bumped up the puck, and Maloney will move it up ahead for Thompson. Thompson gains the blue line, pulls up, wrist shot blocked. That is tipped up into the netting and will go out of play with 3:40 to go in the second period. Chicago leads it 5-2. Face off to the left of McClelland. Clark off the draw for Ridley. Takes it in behind her own net. 2 white jerseys in behind. One of them being Boley, who dug it free. Leaves it for Clark. Ridley trying to break out of the zone here. Up for Emma Robertson, but she was bumped off the puck. Second chance for Robertson now, but she's stripped off of it again. Thompson gets it deep. Or thought she was going to, but Boley's able to kick it up to center. Ubachek will spin free with the puck for Chicago. Send it back for Weiss inside of her own blue line. Tries to play the hop off the boards for Thompson with 3 even to go in the period. Battle ensues right in front of us. 2 bodies aside. The officials imploring the players to move the puck. Thompson will skate away with it and curl back inside of her own blue line. Pass for Weiss missed the target, so Vanderboys can get it deep for Ridley. Vanderboys takes it for a lap in the offensive zone, tried to swipe it for Watt. That hit a body and was taken away by Thompson, moving it up ahead for Chicago. Elliott plays that well defensively and swipes it around the wall. Out of the reach of Vanderboys. Falls onto the stick of Zenstein. Gets it to center. Elliott was there, tried to chip it up ahead. Now it's Watt, who collects and gets it in deep for Ridley with 2:10 to go in the second period. Up the wall, here's Snow. Trying to cut in towards the net, sweeps a backhander just wide. Alexander in there now. Tries to knock Grexton off the puck. Snow bumped off a second time. Poole will try and sweep it up ahead. Back to the blue line, Sweet Apple, her shot deflected and misses well wide and goes into the corner with 1:45 remaining in the period. We're into the home stretch. Each side has lit the lamp twice. 5-2 Chicago. Late in our middle stanza. Kick back up the wall. Into the skates of Elliott and then taken away by Poole. She has Shines going to the net. Poole lost it, drops it back. Wrist shot whistled wide. A bit of a weaker shot as Sweet Apple will take it away, but then Shines poked her off the puck. Curls in, drops into the slot. Here's an opportunity. Maloney with a shot. That's blocked. Shines gets it back, leaves it. Picks up the drop pass on the far wall. Rotates it in down low. Liberty. Back up top for Maloney. Has Weiss at the blue line. Into the skates of Snow. Maloney digs it free. Kicked away by Katzman. Back up to the blue line. Buddington sends it down low. Into the slot. Sits there. Nobody home. Clear to the line. Not out. 47 seconds to go. Weiss down low for Maloney. Back up top for Weiss. Gives it across for Katzman. Back up top, Buddington. Wrist shot save made by McClelland. Rebound picked up by Sweet Apple. Kicked up the wall, and then Snow will fire it down the ice. This will be icing as the clock stops with 33.5 seconds to play in the second period. And the faceoff will come all the way back in to the Ridley zone. It'll be to the left of the netminder McClelland. 2 unanswered goals for Chicago after 3 in the first period. They were answered by 2 goals from Ridley, and now 2 straight for Chicago to regain the 3-goal lead. Buddington shot blocked, although it finds a Chicago stick in the slot. Backhand into the net, steered aside by McClelland. 24 seconds to go in the period. That rolled off the stick of Maloney, poked back to center. Buddington for Weiss. She'll hold it inside of her own blue line. Chip it up to center. There's Liberty. Buddington back up for Liberty, just out of her reach. Chip back in by Robertson with 9 seconds to go. Weiss will hold it, and Chicago will concede the final 4 seconds and take it to the intermission and get through the first 40 minutes with a 3-goal lead. 5-2 is your score. Chicago scored 3 unanswered in the first period. Ridley got 2 goals in the first 10 of the second, but Chicago answered back with 2 of their own, and that's where we stand through 40 minutes. We'll take a break and then come back in for period 3. Chicago leading Ridley 5-2 in JWHL U-19 action. Welcome back inside Rink 8, the New England Sports Center in Marlborough, Massachusetts. I'm Alex Thomas here watching JWHL hockey. The Chicago Young Americans and Ridley, the U-19 division. It is 5-2 Chicago through 40 minutes of play. Let's recap how we got here. Starting with a 3-goal first period for Chicago. The scoring was open just a minute 13 into the hockey game when Catherine Thurman came in with a burst of speed and fired a quick wrist shot over the shoulder of the starting goaltender for Ridley, Haley McClelland. It was at 10:36 of the period, and Catherine Poole would make it 2-0, and then at 19:30 on the power play, on the back door, it would be Ann Bloomer really opening up the game, making 3-0 into the second period. But that's where Ridley started to get some life. 4:02 in. It was a beautiful goal by Shaylin Snow. Came in, went forehand to backhand, back to the forehand, and polished off the play. And then moments later, at 10:10 on the power play, Snow would fire a shot that was going well wide, but it was tipped into the cage by Abby Grexton to make it 3-2 at the time. Chicago would get goals from Thurman and Bloomer at 10:49 and 13:56 respectively to make it a 3-goal game yet again. And it's 5-2 now.
The best I can, sans fluid head,
Well, the third period is underway. Chicago will go from left to right. Ridley from right to left as Emma Robertson will dump it into the zone. Robertson sweeps at it. Vandro boys on the near wall. 20 seconds evaporated. We'll get the first whistle as Haley Klitschko makes the save at 22 seconds of the third period. Face off to the right of the Chicago net. Goalie will take the draw, but off the scrum it is kicked in behind. Rotated behind the Chicago net. Comes back up towards center. Ondrik takes it. Lost the handle on it. Boley tries to sweep it to center. Hits off of Maloney, and then she's able to come away with it as it got caught up in the skates of Boley. Maloney, been one of the more impressive players in this hockey game today. The Brown commit. Hold it now and then go across for Finnegan before going off for a change. Finnegan will dump it in. It was tipped off the stick of Robertson. That's why it missed the net well wide and went into the far corner. Eva Robertson will sweep it up ahead for Emma, who gets it up towards center. Here comes Snow. She's already got one beauty goal today. She'll drop it back looking for, I believe that was Watt. It was, who blew a tire over the blue line and wasn't in position to get a shot away. Carried up over the blue line by Thurman. Drops it in towards the net. Quick wrist shot knocked away by McClelland, who will have to be close to perfect here in the third period if Ridley wants a chance to get back into the hockey game. Watt had it swiped off her stick. Here's Grexton. Wrist shot from an angle. Steered aside into the corner. Watt now digging it away in the far wall. Comes away. She tries to pick it up. Sent back to the blue line for Elliott. She'll fire it into the far corner. Grexton, first one there from Gretzky's office in behind the Chicago net. Puck rolls off of her stick. It's collected and swiped down the ice by Bloomer. Believe this will be icing. It will. Now we'll get a whistle with 18:02 to go. Clark the first one back. Chicago nursing a 3-goal lead here, looking to pick up the victory on a frigid Saturday afternoon in Marlborough. From the newly constructed Rink 8. Deering, weak shot from the slot, was easily steered aside. Puck sent up the wall. It'll come to Shines, who backhands it for Buddington. Collected by Culligan, lost the handle on it. Now it's Clark, up towards center ice, swipe back in to the Ridley zone. In behind, Culligan will chase after it into the near corner. She tries to play it up the wall and does. Finds Tegan Ray, who sends it down the ice, but it's stopped at center by Alexander. Clark bumps the body. Puck comes free. It's held at the top. Drop back to the blue line. Alexander goes across. Buddington. Quick one-timer. That was blocked. Might have hit Catherine Poole, her own teammate, number 6 in blue. Puck is knocked free. Kubicek, who tries to send it in down low, but it finds the stick of Ridley's number 91. That's Shaylin Clark. Dumped in as both sides make changes. 3 minutes gone by in our third and final regulation period of the afternoon. Emma Robertson will swipe it over for Ava Robertson inside of her own blue line. Tries to get it across center, was bumped off the puck. Boley chips it ahead of the blue line. Vanderboys dumps it deep, and Emma Robertson will go in on the forecheck. Had the puck stripped off of her puck and off of her stick rather, and taken away by Alexander. Swipes it off the wall, takes an awkward bounce. Here's Robertson, wrist shot save made, no rebound. With two members of Ridley's forward corps sitting on the doorstep. Klitschko will make the save and hang on. 16:34 to go in regulation time. Chicago Young Americans and Ridley U-19 matchup. I'm Alex Thomas. Vanderboys off the face-off for Robertson. Goes D to D. Jasky will send it in deep. Collected by Weiss. On her backhand, sweeps it ahead. Vanderboys on the end wall. Bowley, far side. She's bumped off the puck. Chipped up ahead. Liberty will sweep it on her backhand. Jasky couldn't get there. Now it's Maloney. She'll pull up. Couldn't get a shot away. Robertson picks it up. Sweeps it on the backhand. Jasky with it now. Up ahead out of the reach of Robertson. Falls back to Finnegan defensively for Chicago. Moved up ahead and dumped in by Liberty around a pair of Ridley bodies. Jasky up the wall, finds Snow, far side. Tries to chip it up ahead. Kept in by Thurman, who has a pair of goals on the afternoon for the Young Americans. Out of the reach of Robertson. This is sent down the ice. Icing is waved off. Alexander chasing after it. Goaltender Klitschko leaves it for Alexander. 15 and a half to go in regulation time. Zenstein, bumped off by Snow. Taken away in there is Watt as well. Ondrick takes it across center, then dumps it in. Sweet Apple knocked off the puck. Brexton trying to curl it out in front. Comes back to Kaufman. Swipes at it, moved up ahead, and then tripped up was Watt, and a penalty upcoming against Chicago. And Watt slow to get up after what appeared to be a knee-on-knee collision at center. 15-10 to go. Watt is still down on a knee.
By the way, you know the rules for overtime, right?
So Watt helped back to the Ridley bench with 15-10 to go after that collision at the Ridley blue line. That will send Claire Kaufman to the penalty box as we figure out how much time is going to be put up depending on what they call. Thought it was going to be a tripping call, but if they call kneeing here, you could see a penalty longer than 2 minutes. Kaufman's actually being sent off here. I would indicate this is going to be much more than a minor penalty. Didn't look like it was an intentional knee-on-knee by any means. Looked more accidental. Oh, Kaufman's gone, and replacing her in the penalty box is Emma Katzman. And that's going to be a 5-minute major for kneeing. And it is going to be a big sequence in this hockey game, and if Ridley's going to get back in, it's going to have to happen in the next 5 minutes. Sweet Apple will chase after it. Ray lost the handle on it. She'll sweep it up for Allison Deering, who gains the blue line. 1 for 2 on the power play this afternoon is Ridley. But they're going to need at least 1 on this 5-minute man advantage, if not 2. McClellan will settle it behind her own net and leave it for Sweet Apple. Vanderboys drops it back for Sweet Apple. Plays it up for Elliott. Vanderboys tried to tip it up ahead for Bowley. Instead, that's sent back up to the blue line, and Elliott will have to turn back. Elliott spinning away at center, knocked off the puck. That is sent down the ice. That was Ondrick in there defensively for Chicago. Jasky plays it for Bowley. Off the stick of Jasky, who collects and carries up across center. Number 98 in white, using her speed, cutting in. Jumps it into the near corner. Vanderboys goes after it. with 1:10 already evaporated off the power play. 14 to play in the hockey game. Jaski at the blue line. Ridley got to set something up here soon. Here's Emma Robertson. Bumped off the puck. Andra clears it to the line. Not out. Jaski kept it alive. Near side Vanderboys. Looks for a lane and back up top for Ava Robertson. Her shot blocked and kicked back out to center. Getting in the lane was Maloney, who's had a very strong afternoon. Jaski moves it up ahead. Into the feet of Vanderboys, who's got to curl back to center. Gives it on for Emma Robertson. Tries to drop it back down low. Does, but it hits off of a Chicago body, and it's swiped down the ice by Delaney Weiss. All the way in behind McClelland, with 2 minutes nearly gone by already. Snow will leave it behind the net. Good news, as Watt is back out there. Moved up ahead for Grexton. Up for Snow. They'll carry it into the offensive zone. Snow pulls up, waits for reinforcements, drops it back to the blue line. Culligan, she's bumped off the puck and a short-handed breakaway the other way. Here's an opportunity for Chicago, short-handed. Big defensive play by Clark to get back there. Emily Kubicek unable to get a shot away. She had the speed initially, but Clark does a good job to get back and negate the chance halfway through this 5-minute power play. 2.5 to go. McClelland will leave it for Clark, who's in behind her own net. Dropped it, now she gets it back. Up ahead, into the skates of Culligan, who carries it into the offensive zone. 2:15 left in the power play. Culligan back up top for Deering. Looks for a lane, back down low, Culligan near side. Culligan turns, swipes it to the net, knocked away. Rebound comes away for Watt in the near corner. Deering has Culligan to the blue line. Swiped it back for Watt, gets it across the ice for Elliott. That one goes through her stick and back up to the blue line. Elliott, shot blocked by Maloney. Second time that she's been in the shooting lane on this penalty kill. Elliott gets it back quickly, has to rotate it in down low. 1:45 left in the power play. Watt cutting to the net, backhand, side of the net, they score! Deering was there on the feed from Watt. And late in the power play, Ridley gets one back, and it's a 2-goal game with 11:51 to go. Well, they have to get at least one on the power play, and they do. And it's Allison Deering who picks up her first of the evening on the power play with 1:42 left. And because it was a 5-minute major, Ridley will get a chance to strike twice. They've already gotten one. That's what the absolute minimum was for them. You'd have to think on that power play they get it. Now can they get a second? McClelland will settle it down behind her net, leaves it for Elliott. She'll start the rush from in behind her own net. Elliott up ahead for Sweet Apple. Chips it up. Boley up for Vanderboys. Gets it in deep. Vanderboys steering it to the net. Big save. Kicked into the corner. And now Ridley will set it up with 1:09 left in the power play. Drops it back. Sweet Apple. Blue line. Wrist shot. Stop. Rebound. Boley overshot it into the corner. Vanderboys along the near wall. Kicks it free. Trying to rotate it back to the blue line, but has 3 blue jerseys draped on her with just 55 ticks left in the power play. That puck is sent to the line. It gets out, but Sweet Apple prevents it from going down the ice. That'll save a couple of seconds. Elliott in trouble at center. Was stripped off the puck. Now she gets it back with 40 seconds to go in the power play. Ridley gains his zone. Elliott tried to find Snow, who was going to the net. Couldn't get the pass through. Ava Robertson at center will send it in. Couldn't get it deep. And the puck is transported down the ice. A good job by Ann Bloomer, who's got 2 goals on the hockey game, to get in on the work defensively and send that down the ice. 20 seconds left in the power play. Last gasp for Ridley. They've already got one on this 5-minute power play, and that's likely going to be all they have as they're forced back in their own zone with 10 seconds to go. Robertson's clearing attempt was tipped down low, so no icing. Penalty is over. Ridley gets one and gets this game within striking distance halfway through the third period. 10:02 to go in regulation time. Watt tries to dig it free. Had an assist on that goal. Good to see her back out on the ice after she took the knee and looked a little banged up. And Claire Kaufman, the main commit, was sent off. So that's a big loss for Chicago. She's had a really good game. Snow keeps it in, far blue line. Shot was blocked, so it didn't have a lot on it, rather, and didn't even come close to reaching the net. Ava Robertson will swipe it back. Out of the reach of Jaski. Curls in her own zone, being watched by Ondrick. Jaski leaves it for Ava Robertson. Spins it up ahead. Ray up for Deering, whose goal in the power play has this a 2-goal game. Swipes it in towards the net. Out in front, puck still sits there banging away. One save. Deering the rebound, puck comes free. Chicago able to move it up ahead. And a possible chance the other way, but out of the reach of Morgan Shines as Culligan back defensively for Ridley. Plays the puck to Clark. And they'll start from behind their own net with 8:58 to go in regulation time. Clark able to navigate the puck safely to center as she'll dump it into the zone. Weiss is there defensively for Chicago. She'll gain it as Ridley makes changes. Bloomer up ahead for Thompson. On her backhand, Thompson cutting in, wrist shot, that's blocked. Sent in behind the net. Thompson gets it back now. Goes for a backhand, looks for a lane. Parked in Gretzky's office behind the Ridley net. Thompson looking for a lane, still doesn't have it. Walks up the wall, into the slot, there's an opportunity. Kupchak with a shot, big save by McClelland. Moved up by Boley, back to the blue line. Alexander, she lets a shot go tipped to the side of the net. Nobody can get a handle on it. Clark trying to sweep it up the wall. Here's Emma Robertson, near corner. Sends it back for Clark, 8:04 to go in regulation time. Clark down the ice, only gets it to center, however. Alexander chips it up ahead. Liberty trying to gain the blue line, can't. Poked free off the stick of Poole. Sent up ahead, this will be icing as Clark gets there first. And we get a whistle with 7:45 to go, and the faceoff going deep into the Chicago end. Ridley, the only goal in the third period on the power play, scored by Allison Deering. They needed at least one on the 5-minute power play. They got it, but now time very much becoming a factor in this 2-goal hockey game with now 7:40 and ticking remaining in regulation time. Puck is sent into the Ridley zone. McClellan will steer that into the corner. Elliott up the wall onto the stick of Snow. Transports that up for Watt. Carries it across center. Watt gains the blue line. Has Grexton go into the net. Missed the target. Sweet Apple in the near corner. Digs it free. Puck comes loose for Poole along the near wall. Sent back in. Alexander, tons of time in the far corner for Chicago. Instead, she'll send it back in. Zenstein comes back, number 9. Battling her opposite 9, Abby Grexton. Two bodies aside, dig away with 7 minutes to play in the hockey game. Kubicek comes away with it, bumped off the puck eye, Grexton. Zenstein bumps her, and then Grexton takes a tumble on the end boards, and that puck is sent down the length of the ice. This will be icing, as Sweet Apple and Elliott were the only two within a mile of the puck, and we'll get a whistle with 6:49 to go, and an offensive zone face-off for Ridley, trying to get this back to a 1-goal game. Face-off will be to the right of the Chicago net with 6:49 to go in regulation time. Draw is won by the Young Americans, but they can't get it out of the zone. Kept alive by Ray, back to the blue line. Robertson tries to get it deep, and she does. Chasing after it is Abby Russell. Puck comes back near side, Tegan Ray. Ray will swipe it down towards the net. Goes right on, and with Deering on the doorstep, Grexco will elect to hang on for a whistle with 6:33 to go in regulation. Well, the face-off will be to the right of the Chicago net. Draw one by Ridley over to the near side. Deering has it, back to the blue line, swept in by Russell. Now puck is sent out of the zone and just out of the reach of Robertson, who curls inside of her own blue line. Swiped ahead towards center. Deering tips it into the Chicago zone. The Young Americans pick up possession. Ondrick at center, around Ayla Robertson, and finds Maloney. Maloney cutting into the goal. Maloney in the backhand. In front, scores! Shea Maloney on the backhand puts it on the net. It trickles through McClelland. And Chicago's got the 3-goal lead back with 6:08 to go. Wasn't sure if that was going to make it over the goal line if it had enough momentum. It just did, and sneaks inside the near post. And Shea Maloney, who's had a heck of an afternoon, gets a rewarder with a goal with 6:08 remaining in regulation time. Well, that 3-goal lead restored for Chicago. Seems like every time Ridley gets over that hump here this afternoon, they get sent right back down the hill. And now, with time being the way it is, that could very well be the finisher for the Young Americans. Still 5:48 to go in this hockey game, however. Carried in over the blue line by Thurman. Wrist shot knocked away by McClelland. Into the far corner. Picked up by Culligan. Up the wall. Finds Vanderboys. Kicks it back up to the top. Held by Thurman. She'll send it back into the neutral zone. Weiss across center. Gains the offensive zone. Kubicek chasing after it. On her backhand. Could have been a hook. No call coming. Vanderboys picks it up. Thompson with it now. Scrum ensues, and the puck is sent to the blue line, not out. Long shot by Weiss. McClellan the save. She'll kick the rebound into the far corner. Puck gets out of the zone, but only briefly as Weiss will find Shines, and Chicago will pick up possession immediately. Liberty gains the offensive zone, pulls up, wrist shot, save made by McClelland, kicked into the corner. Back up top for Finnegan. That misses her, and will go along the length of the ice. With 4:50 to go in regulation time, that allows Ridley to get changes as Weiss overskates it, but no harm, no foul. She gets it back and then plays it on her backhand for Shines along the far wall. Elliott trying to get it deep, could not. Snow tried to dig it free that time. It was Culligan. Up into the skates of Watt, who picks up possession. Gains the offensive blue line. Watt, wrist shot, that's blocked. Elliott, her opportunity now, comes free into the slot. Sweet Apple keeps it alive at the blue line. 4:18 to go. Her shot into the feet of Snow. She'll swipe it in deep. Weiss behind the Chicago net. Watched by Watt, kicks up to the blue line, not out. Elliott keeps it alive. Goes across, but that's out of the reach of Grexton. Played behind the net. Puck swiped up the wall, near side. Here's Liberty. Watched by Sweet Apple and Watt. Chipped up ahead by Bloomer. She gains the offensive zone. Bloomer cuts in. Wrist shot save made by McClelland. Looking for the hat trick as Ann Bloomer. She scored twice on the back door in this hockey game. Catesman keeps it alive. Swiped around the wall for Snow, far side. Although it took an awkward hop off the Zamboni doors on the far side with 3:38 to go in regulation time. Elliott chips it up ahead. Snow fires it out of the zone. Comes to Alexander. Tipped in by Maloney. She chips it around Grexton. Looks for a lane. Maloney swipes it to the net. Hits off the outside of the net and curls over into the far corner. Zenstein shot save made. Rebound. Oh, what a save by McClellan. She gets across to deny Catesman of a glorious opportunity with 3:10 to go. Zenstein off the wall for Alexander. Fires it up ahead for Thompson. She'll take a lap in her own zone, content to kill time, and why not? 3 minutes to go. Here's Thurman, drops it back. Thompson, wrist shot blocked into the corner. Thompson gets it back. Has Zenstein at the blue line. 2:45 to go in regulation time. Russell up ahead for Ray. Have the puck poked off her stick by Alexander. Poole chips it into the offensive zone. Here comes number 6 in blue with speed cutting in. Backhander save made by McClelland. And she'll hang on for a whistle with 2:34 to go. Chicago on top 6-3, trying to salt away a victory from Rink 8, the New England Sports Center in Marlboro. Face-off will be to the left of McClelland. Draw one back, Buddington gets it in deep. Vanderboys chips it up the wall. Couldn't get it out of the zone. She spins away. Being watched by Thurman. Chipped up for Robertson, who gains the blue line with 2:10 to go in regulation time. Robertson spins up, sends it toward the slot for Boley, and the puck gets caught up in Catherine Thurman's equipment. And we'll get a whistle with 2:06 to go in regulation time, with Chicago now well in command and appearing to be on their way to a victory here this evening. Robertson off the draw, lost the handle on it. Ondrick across center, leaves it for Liberty on her backhand. She's bumped off the puck, gets it in deep. Clark picks it up, swipes it up the wall. Emma Robertson there. 1:50 to go in regulation time. Ben Rabois across center, takes it in for Ridley. She gains the blue line, but he's bumped off the puck immediately. Weiss in behind the net. She's taken down hard by Van Rabois. They both tumble down to the ice with 95 seconds to go. Chicago used 3 first-period goals to build up a 3-goal lead that they never really felt threatened by in this hockey game. They gave up 2 goals in the first 10-10 of the second period, and Ridley made it a 3-2 hockey game and looked like from there that, hey, maybe they had a chance, but less than a minute later, Chicago would score to reestablish the 2-goal lead. And with 1 minute to go in regulation time, the Young Americans are up by 3 and on their way to a victory. Sweet Apple's off sides, and we'll get a whistle with 53.5 seconds to go in regulation time. To recap your scoring, Chicago got a goal from Catherine Thurman, just 1:13 into the hockey game. She used her speed and got a wrist shot over the glove of Haley McClelland. It was a goal by Catherine Poole at 10:36, and then a power play goal on the back door and a one-timer by Ann Bloomer at 19:30 of the first period that built up that lead. Ridley would get a beautiful goal from Snow at 4:02 of the second period to make it 3-1. They would then get a goal from Abby Gregston, who was in front of the net. Snow's shot was going to miss well wide, but it hit off of Gregston and in on the power play at 10:10. At that point, it was a 3-2 game. In front, here's Maloney. She puts it wide. Second period would also see Chicago score twice. They would get goals from Thurman and Bloomer to make it a 5-2 game, and then they traded goals here in the third with Deering on the power play for Ridley and Maloney even strength for Chicago. That made it 6-3, and that's where we'll finish. Chicago gets it done thanks to a big first period that turns out to be the difference in this hockey game. The Young Americans take it 6-3 over Ridley and win this U-19 battle from the New England Sports Center in Marlborough. For the entire JWHL crew, I'm Alex Thomas saying so long from Rink 8 in Marlborough. Once again, your score is Chicago 6, Ridley 3. Thanks for spending your Saturday afternoon with us.